So we're having a wet Sunday. No chickens. They're probably all under cover down the end there. We've got storms forecast, which will be exciting, hopefully. Right, go to loins, I'm coming. I hadn't realised last night when I started to make my vlog that I was so, my brain was so befuddled. I was sort of horrified when I suppose when I was awake overnight thinking, you meant patriarchal, not, you see, I can't even think of the bloody word. What was it? Maternal, paternal. I knew, I questioned it, and I knew as I said it, it was wrong. It's like paternal sounds kind. And I just thought, oh God, and speculum. I was a nurse and I couldn't even think of the word for speculum. So I hadn't quite realised how befuddled my brain was. And I'm hoping it's not as befuddled today. I don't think I've made a good start, really. The book that I was talking about that a friend had recommended, which was another book that I really enjoyed, had a difficulty getting into it. Not difficulty, but there's a rhythm, isn't there? There's a flow and a writing style, and you have to start to get it. But the book was called The Crimson Petal and the White. I've had to go to Goodreads to have a look and see what I've read. I'll read you the synopsis. It's Sugar, 19, as a prostitute in Victorian London, yearns for a better life. From brutal brothel keeper Mrs. Castaway, she ascends in society. Affections of self-involved perfume magnate William Rackham soon smells like love. Her social rise attracts preening socialites, drunken journalists, untrustworthy servants, vile gutter snipes, and whores of all kinds. It was a really good book. I can't actually remember the whole of it, and I have read it twice. I've got a whole list here of books that I've read twice. Sometimes I'll go back to a book because I just haven't got anything to read, and I think, oh, I'll read that again. And then sometimes I'll read a book twice because I've really enjoyed it. I've read The Ship of Brides twice. I've read English Passengers. That was intriguing. I think that's about the group of people going out to Tasmania. 1857, when Captain Iliam Gwillian Cooley and his band of rum smugglers from the Isle of Man have most of their contraband confiscated by the British Customs. They're forced to put their ship up for charter. The only takers are two eccentric Englishmen who want to embark for the other side of the globe. The Reverend Geoffrey Wilson believes the Garden of Eden was on the island of Tasmania. His travelling partner, Dr. Thomas Potter, unbeknownst to Wilson, is developing a sinister thesis about the races of men. That was a fascinating study of Tasmania and Aboriginals and the awful way that they were treated by white men. Not a lot has changed, has it? When was that? That was set in 1824, 200 years ago. Not a lot's changed. Yeah, so I read that twice. I've read The Mandibles. I've recently read that a second time. That's The Mandibles, A Family, 2029 to 2047. So that's a sort of a, I can't think of the word, dystopic vision of the future. The Ragged Trousers Philanthropists, again, that was written in 18 something, I think. No, 1914. You read that. Not a lot's changed. The Goldfinch. Read that twice. And The Salt Path. That was a really enjoyable read, and I've read that twice, about husband and wife walking the Southwest Coast Path because he was sick. And they just walked and walked and walked and walked. And I actually, during the time I was reading the book, thought, or it inspired me to do a virtual walk of the Southwest Coast Path. There's I can't remember the name of it now, but there's a thing that you can do online, virtual walks. You get a medal at the end, and I got a medal at the end. But my last 100 or so miles was a drag because I'd got ill again, and I couldn't. So, I was doing inches rather than miles. So that's some of the stuff I've been reading. What have you been reading? What do you read? I'm just having a look to see what else I've got that sort of stands out. That was interesting, but I don't know whether you can get that. I was given that to read by my daughter, who formatted it for Kindle. It's called Marshall's Family by Welsh Anson. That's got an asterisk next to it. I wonder whether you can't. You might be able to get it. Richard Marshall is a pilot working in Africa who wishes for a quiet domestic life. Unfortunately, he has a wife who despises him, a daughter who brings home problems, and a lover who wants him all to herself. That was a good book. It was a good book. It's quite tense. First published in 2015. You might be able to get it. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Is it showing? No. I click on Amazon and it shows that it's not available to buy. I don't know what happened with that. I read it twice. The Kashmir Shawl I read twice. That was about written around the time of partition in India. Again, fascinating. Perfume, read that a couple of times. The Story of a Murderer. I think I liked it more the first time than I did the second, but it is fascinating. It gives you a fascinating insight into how perfume's made. But it's about a guy that has an extraordinary sense of smell and uses it to kill people. Right, so that was the book. So the book was The Crimson Petal and the White by Michelle Faber. I recommend that. So we've had lunch. I cooked a really nice Sunday dinner. Mark had chicken. I had a piece of entrecôte, which was really tender. He's not really bothered about steak, so I've stopped buying it for him and I buy it for me. And so he had chicken. I did roast potatoes. I did some stuffing a few weeks ago that was in a packet. It was a cranberry and something Christmas stuffing. I did it a few weeks ago, and I did it into individual small muffin tins and froze the remainder. So I got a couple of those out for us today to have with it. We had cabbage that was hanging around and needed using, and a carrot. I made him gravy. I don't have gravy. I do have gravy, but not with steak. So that was really nice. We're waiting for somebody to come and pick up the chandelier from our bedroom that we've taken down and replaced with the IKEA light. I put it on the free site and somebody immediately said, "Oh yes, can I have it?" Yes, you can have it. When do you want to come and get it? And when are you there? And I said, well, you can come anytime late Saturday, late afternoon Saturday, or we're here all day Sunday after 10. And she said, okay, Sunday. She said, okay, I'll see you then. So here we are after 10. It's now 2:45. We got up early. Well, we got up especially. It's not early, is it, to get up? But we don't, it's like we have to get up because there might be somebody coming. And then I'm doing the dinner and I'm thinking, well, you're going to come whilst I'm cooking? Are you going to come whilst I'm eating? Are you going to come? I'm at the point of, are you going to come now? So I'm now being chased by the moderator of the group who, it irritates me, the group. It's over moderated. You get people moderating groups on Facebook sometimes, or, you know, when we used to be forums and things, but you get people moderating groups on Facebook and they get up themselves and get heavy-handed and moderate you. And I hate being moderated, as you can imagine, trying to moderate me. So I hate being moderated. So I'm now being chased by the moderator. So when you put something on the free site, as soon as somebody has you're in contact with them and they said, yes, we'll come and pick it up, whatever, you put pending on your post so people know that it's not available. And then when the person's picked it up, you delete your post. But this moderator is chasing me. Have you made contact? La, la, la. I'm just ignoring her because it's like, fuck off. I'll sort it when she comes and picks it up. If she doesn't pick it up, I'll offer it to somebody else. When it's picked up, I'll delete it. Go away. And it irritates me. And I sort of think, I don't want to be in that group. I don't need to be in that group. But sometimes it is handy if you've got stuff that you don't want and you can't be bothered to sell it, and you just give it away. So yeah, we're waiting. We've started again now. We've started with series 4 last night of Line of Duty. I've had to buy each series separately. I needn't have done that. When I first looked, I could have just bought the box set of all of them, but I didn't. So I'm now yesterday or the day or whenever it was, I was looking for them, the next group, 4, 5 and 6. I had to buy them separately and you know, or I could have bought the box set again and then I'd end up with 3 extras, 1, 2 and 3. So I bought 3 separate series, boxes, but this series 4, I bought them in France. I bought the other ones in France. I bought this one in France, but it's actually set up for France. So you can change the language back to English, which is great. So it was like, there wasn't a problem. It was like, you know, like watching any of the others. But the reason that we bought it on DVD was because we have been trying to watch it on the Fire Stick, but we couldn't get subtitles on the Fire Stick. And I cannot pick up what people are saying when they're facing away from me, or when there's other noise going on around them, or when they're just, you know, mumbling, or when people do, you know, when they're having a conversation and quickly and then mumbling. And I just said to them, I'm not managing this, and I'm not catching what they're saying. And when you're watching a crime drama, it's quite important to know what's going on. So that's why we ordered it on DVD. This particular series, this DVD, the language, the subtitles are French. Woman's just messaged me. Let me see what she said. Oh, she's not going to make it. Oh. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the subtitles are in French, and you know, that will just complicate. So last night I was really struggling at the beginning to get tuned in. That might have been what befuddled my brain. So yeah, we watched 2 last night, and I did tune into it and get tuned in again, and was managing, but I was getting quite frustrated at the beginning. And what I notice is that I start tuning out and starting to drift off. I do want to drift off a bit at 8 o'clock in the evening. I start to feel quite tired for about half an hour. So it might have been that, but I do wonder whether I'm drifting off because of the struggle and the strain that it's exhausting trying to make sense of what people are saying. I know that my hearing is poor, and if we've been in situations where I am struggling to hear, I tend to tune out, and then and which is fine by me. I'm quite happy to tune out, you know, in a big group of people where the noise is just too much and I can't hear. I'm quite happy to tune out, but people don't like you doing that. They want to come and engage you and drag you back and try and make it okay for you, and that's even more tiring. It's like, no, leave me alone. I'm quite happy. I'm not unhappy. I'm not lonely. I'm not depressed. I just need to be left in my own little world. So she's saying she can't make it today. Is it possible tomorrow or Tuesday, please? Why can't you make it today? I want to say, I've been here all fucking day waiting. I'll answer in a minute. We're having our hopefully COVID injections tomorrow. I've booked us for vaccinations tomorrow, but we might only get flu. But I know when we went to the pharmacy I've booked it at, I booked it online on a website called DocLib. It's the same pharmacy that we went to just as we were leading up to Mark's NEOP last year, in pouring rain. Be the same tomorrow. It'll be a bit like deja vu. So I think we walked in, I'm not sure if we walked in for flu jabs or COVID jabs, but I know that we went in and they said, oh, right, okay, do you want this as well? And we ended up having COVID and flu jab at the same time, one in each arm. So that's what my plan is. It sounds a bit barbaric. It sounds a bit, what the fuck are you doing? But I think it's important before he goes into hospital in 3 weeks' time that he has been vaccinated against flu and COVID. Fingers crossed. So that's the plan. We're going there tomorrow morning. We've got appointments at about 10 in the morning. And then we'll have, I don't know, a few hours at some point of feeling uncomfortable and feeling like we're coming down with something, and then it just goes away. It's really weird to think, oh yeah, I'm coming down with something, feeling that feeling of you're getting flu or you're getting a cold, and then a few hours later it's gone, when that's not how it would normally be, is it? It would normally be you're coming down with something and then you're down with it. So that's happening tomorrow, and then she's probably coming tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll see. I'll have to bloody answer the moderator. Or will I? I might not. I might just not. Yeah, so excuse my befuddled brain. It is quite irritating when you lose words. And I don't think it's quite as bad as it was last night. So it may well be to do with the time of day and whatever was going on for me yesterday. It sort of makes me worry a bit, I do lose words anyway. I think we all do as we age, but it felt worryingly more last night. But I think you all got the gist, which was good. I'm pleased about that. So there we go. Have a nice Sunday, and I hope your weather's better than ours, although I quite like this weather. I like storms. I hope we get one. It's on the forecast, but you don't always get what they forecast. It's sort of, it's for a larger area than just us. So, okay. I didn't use my mic either because I didn't like the sound quality with me being as close as I was to the phone last night. I'm in the chair like this in Mark's, but I can't lean back because his is leant back, and my hands can't work the stuff underneath to sit the chair up, so I have to sit like that in his chair. So yeah, I didn't like the sound quality. Okay, bye.